Good morning, this is Joanne from Colorado. I am making a tabletop bird bath, hummingbird bath, and I just wanted you to be able to see how easy this is. So I'm going to show you the steps. Right now I'm making the bowl, and I have a bowl about the size I want to make. Kind of like to make it a little bigger, but hey, this is the one I have for a mold, so I'm going to use it. And I have in this bowl about 8 cups of rapid set mortar mix, and I'm going to use 2 cups of water. I don't even know if I can see where the 2 cup is in this measuring cup. Sorry, I've used a lot of this, and my lungs just don't enjoy it. But I try to keep the dust down. I am going to go ahead and mix this up first, just in case it's already thin enough. It's better to have it too thick than too thin. It sets up really fast though. So, and I haven't made the bowl this size for a long time, so I'm not exactly positive how much mortar it will take to make this bowl. I have to break up all that mixing because it hardens really fast. I want to make sure that I get it mixed as quickly as possible with all the mortar that I put in there, and get it put on that bowl quick. Yeah, I'm glad I didn't put the rest of that water in because it would have been too much. I hope I don't make holes in my gloves. I saw new hummingbirds this morning, really checking out my other little bird bath with the little flowers. So I want to get this one done quick because they love the bird bath in my friend's yard. And I made it for me and originally, and I would very much like to have another one. I hope I can do this. I need it thick enough on the sides. I can probably put another layer on it, but I need to get the whole shape done in one deal so that there's not parts of the bowl that are a whole different batch of cement, because that's a good way to have leaks later. Let's see, gotta get this done because it's setting up. Can't turn it around. There we go. Wow, it is setting up quick, and I'm going to wish Gonna wish I had more. I don't know if this is going to ruin or not. I hope not. Kind of pressing down on it to get it to spread, but you got to make sure there's no cracks in it, because it'll definitely crack later. I got so close. I don't want any crumbs down in here that aren't wet, because those will not stick together. There is a hole. I don't want a hole in the side. Okay, well, at least I got a thin layer on the whole bowl. Now I gotta make another layer real quick and stick it together while it's still not completely set up. And I can make it thicker. Okay. This is what happens when you have not quite enough. And I'd like this bowl to be thick enough to be sturdy. So I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Measure that time, so I'm trying to err on the side of too dry, but it does harden quick. So if I can get it thin enough with all the lumps out of it, it is thinner than I like. Let's see if I can add some to it. Hey. Didn't even make a huge mess. This is a thicker, not quite dough consistency, but because this isn't set up yet, or it's not dry, I can squeeze this on there. Sorry, it's probably jiggling my camera all over the place. Can make that bowl thicker on the sides. And both of these sides were too thin. So I saw a lady one time put together a bowl like this, and she's kind of drizzled thicker mortar or cement, about pancake batter consistency, but she added that to the outside of her bowl, and she just kept kind of pouring it on there until it was thicker and sturdier. It kind of gave it a nice look, but she didn't have to sit and press it in place. Anyways, I want this to have a nice solid underbase. Then I can smooth it out, and then if I want to add some texture with some more, I can do it. I know that that ledge on this bowl wasn't extremely thick. And I see it kind of go down or have an inset right here that tells me that it's probably not real thick there. Well, somebody is having a cookout nearby, and it sure smells good. Okay, so now I'm going to mix up a little more, a little thinner, and then just kind of pour it over the top and make sure it's thicker down here. And I just have a smaller amount in here, so I'm going to go ahead and use this. Moisture on the outside of that, but it will be okay because I'll probably use it all quick. And then for this bird bath, I use the bowl for the reservoir. I'll make some kind of stand, or I'll incorporate a stand in this with this bowl. And Then I take a couple geranium leaves, the biggest geranium leaves I can find. And I take them and I add them to the I'm going to go ahead and put this on a little thicker. Geranium leaves I put on sand or in a bowl to hold their space. I put enough sand underneath them to hold the position of the leaf. And then I get the blue box of Rapid Set because it makes really strong, really thin items. Anyways, the concrete will set up really hard, and not only does it set up really hard, but it it's kind of flat in case I need to set it on something. Whatever I set it on, I don't want it to lean one way or another. Anyways, I was saying that I used that other mortar, and it sets up extremely fast. And it's a kind of mortar that you don't even want to work. After you put it on something, pour it in a mold or something, but you better have it pretty much situated where you want it immediately, because it seems like whenever you move the cement after you pour it more than just a teeny bit, it automatically starts cracking, and then your piece can crack all the pieces. Which is crazy, because once it's set, if you just pour it once and let it set, it can be a ½ an inch thick and it will be really sturdy. I need this thinner if I'm gonna pour some, and I still see this area right here is still too thin. I don't mind pouring some on there to make it thicker, but I want it thicker. I watched a video of somebody making bowls online the other day, and they were just using like Portland cement, but he was pouring it, and it was really had all kinds of big lumps in it. And I don't find lumps help. Give it a little decor, or I might just smooth it out. Seems to be working better if I just smooth it out. Just kind of pull it upward. Try to make it thicker where it needs to be. And do that all the way around. And this bowl with that ledge, I just need to find a paper plate or something that will set right on that inside ledge of the bowl, because that will be perfect. And if it's perfect there, then I can make a plate that'll set right down there on the inside of that ledge, so that all the water that flows off my little geranium leaves all that water will pour right inside the bowl, so we won't lose it. There, this is kind of giving it a little bit of a frosting poured look. Anyway, so I'm going to let that dry. Try to move the excess away so it doesn't have anything to chip off. There. I will let that dry and see if it's thick enough. So, I will be back when this dries. I decided to take some of this buff coloring and just kind of pour it on here. And let it drizzle down, because it's the dye that dyes cement. So might need to get some paper towels for that. But anyways, I'm gonna let it dry like that because the dye won't hurt it. So I will be back. So I am going to shut off my camera because it needs charged again. So, and I noticed a hummingbird wanting to come into these, and they have a little residue from when they cleaned off the roof and when I put extra cement in the bird bath. So I'm going to clean it all up and make it like new and let this bowl go ahead and dry. And then when it dries, I will unmold it and show you what I'm left with. And then we will go from there to make our flowers and put in the plate and the copper lines. And anyways, it'll be a simple one for you. If you want to make one along with me, find a bowl that a paper plate can set inside, or plastic, foam, whatever, and then you can spray it with a no-stick spray and get some 1/4-inch copper lines, enough for, I usually use about 2 feet, because what I'm going to do is, well, they are going to be formed inside the plate so that they will go through into the bottom of the bowl for the reservoir, and so that they'll stand up on the outside to hold the flowers in place. So yeah, if you want to get yourself a plate that'll set inside the bowl, and get yourself a bowl and make a cement one, and then I'll show you how to make the plate, and that is the finishing touches. So well, other than hooking up the pump and letting it dry. So, but anyways, we'll make it simple, and I will be back to do the rest. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.